Hello everyone, welcome back to another Henry Stickmin video, and my last Henry Stickmin video before the release of the Henry Stickmin collection. Now, a part of me wanted to do this because my other Henry video, which has over 10,000 views, thanks by the way, is extremely outdated, and new information has been released since that video has come out, and I feel like it deserves to have a follow-up. And the other part of me just wanted to do another Henry Stickmin video because they're fun to make, I love the series, and I feel like it needs to be discussed before it releases next month. And I just realized I am obsessing over a video game series that involves stick figures, but that doesn't matter. This is what we know about the Henry Stickmin collection and completing the mission. Let us start by talking about what we know about the whole collection before we go into completing the mission. For there hasn't been a lot of news around the game, however just more updates. First off, the collection now has a release date. It will be released on Steam on the 7th of August at a price of $15. Pretty understandable price for a collection of games where all of them are remastered, have better visuals, with the new game that's apparently 3 hours wide, as Puffball puts it. Now, what do we know about all of the games being remastered? Pretty much everything at this point. Certain backdrops have been changed with more references, the overall quality and resolution is better, and some changes in the music. And that's about it. Puffball did state in the Innersloth Discord server, in the Henry Stickmin channels, that no new endings or pathways will be added to the previous games, as he wants to put all effort into completing the mission to create more endings, more references, so on and so forth. One thing that is new, however, are the character bios. The bios for characters are something you can unlock by right-clicking a character when they are on screen, and there are bios for pretty much every character, even this guy. It appears that there are folders for each of the games holding all of the characters within them. Will I go out of my way to do this? Guys, come on. I'm literally the Henry Stickmin fanatic. This isn't even funny anymore. Just. Also, Charles's last name is Calvin. Now, let's talk about the final game in the series, completing the mission. Now, ever since my last video, we've gotten more screenshots from the game, and we've even gotten footage of a fail. We have a bit to discuss, so let's talk about the screenshot I forgot to talk about last video. In this screenshot, we see Henry standing on a train looking out at the sunset. I've seen some people say this is an ending, but I do have my doubts. I feel as if this is a transition between choices, like as an example, Henry going through the vents when he first enters the airship and sees the ruby. Next, I'd like to talk about the first fail we got on April 1st of this year. Now, we have a lot to discuss here. I assume this is a single route that Henry takes after the ending of International Rescue Operative in Fleeing the Complex. Now we see supposed members of the Top Hat clan, with cooler hats too. But something I've speculated is that there are now divisions in the Top Hat clan as a whole, with different people in different groups. What do I mean by this? I'm thinking that either the Top Hat clan has gotten bigger than ever and now has different divisions of groups assigned to different tasks, or there is more than one Top Hat clan. However, I think the existence of there being more than one Top Hat clan is a bit unrealistic due to what we've seen so far, and we'll be focusing on the Top Hat clan in a later segment. But I think the clan itself having different divisions of groups makes a whole lot more sense. It would also explain as to why these two are playing rock, paper, scissors, why a member is choking out another member, and why these two in the back are discussing something. It seems they might be discussing some sort of deal. Anyway, let's go back to talking about this scene as a whole. We see Henry with an earpiece and Charles is speaking to him through it, saying that he's going to release a subsonic wave that will stun everyone that hears it, telling Henry to cover his ears. He fires the wave, stunning everyone, including Henry. Good to see Charles is as useful as ever. Now, there are other things to point out in this scene. One of the boxes Henry is hiding behind is labeled Tunisian Artifacts. This could be a box filled with different Tunisian treasures from different museums across the world, but who knows? Next up, I'd like to talk about this area, because we've received information on what it is. It's the Top Hat launch base, as shown by the title of this YouTube video posted by Puffball on his YouTube channel. And I even discussed this screenshot in my last video, but I can't believe I was so stupid to the point where I didn't notice this huge ass red metallic thing. Hey, certain people in the Innersloth Discord server, this is not the back of Ellie's head, not by a long shot. I'm led to believe that this is actually the Top Hat clan's airship. After all, this is supposedly their base. Also, we've received this new screenshot with Henry looking up a mountain with the 3 options being presented: rope, climb, and abuse physics engine. Now, if I were to make an educated guess as to what the correct option would be, I don't fucking... well, the last few times where Henry had tried to disobey the laws of physics, it didn't really turn out well for him, and I do not see how the rope would help out at all, because, like, how? So I'm going to go with climb. My instinct is just telling me it. I cannot believe I forgot about this screenshot back then when making my first Henry video. This screenshot was released while in production of the last video, but I never fully understood it until some random person had said in the Henry Stickmin channel in the Innersloth Discord server, apparently you are able to choose one of each endings from the 2 previous games, and those endings will make the plot you will be playing and completing the mission. Over here we have an example, with government-supported private investigator selected and ghost inmate also selected, and it displays key points in the plot due to both of those endings. It's also been confirmed by Puffball that even the betrayed can be one of the endings you can pick. I'm intrigued by the fact that you can pick the betrayed at all, because Henry literally dies in that ending, so I don't see how it could make your plot for completing the mission. Puffball, I swear, if a cutscene of Henry dying just plays when you select the betrayed as an option, and it's a fail, I'm gonna... I can possibly predict a plot that could work. Pure-blooded thief and convict allies. Henry working with Ellie to steal something that could prevent the Top Hat clan from potentially taking over the world, and celebrating that victory by going to New Mexico, going to the Abyss, going into my basement. Oh. Speaking of Ellie, I have an idea for how she could actually betray Henry in a possible ending for completing the mission. Remember Ghost Inmate? The ending in Fleeing the Complex you got by Ellie helping you up to reach the upper floor, and then you leave her, and then it says Ellie will remember that? Well, I'm sure she still does remember that. What if you choose the endings Relentless Bounty Hunter and Ghost Inmate? What if there is a possible chance Ellie managed to escape sometime after Ghost Inmate and the government saw how useful she could be, which then leads her to being assigned to aid Henry on his mission? Then after the task is complete, Ellie just flat out betrays him, killing Henry in some way out of pure, cold revenge. And that's about it for this video. I'm sure I missed to talk about some things, but for now I think I did a pretty good job covering what needed to be covered. I will be doing a review of the game and possibly another theory discussion afterwards. Until next time.